What's up, guys? 80 here, and we are back again with another episode of Just a Lazy Boy. Now, today we are going to be talking about, yes, Mr. Andrew Tate himself once again. 2 videos in a row. The man is a trending topic. He is basically making it very hard to not talk about him. But specifically in this video today, we are going to be talking about the final message video, right? But before we get into it, I have to say, go watch the video. Regardless of if you like him, if you don't like him, regardless of what gender you are, go watch the video. It's an hour and 15 minutes of your life. It won't kill you. Give it a chance. You might have a different perspective on everything, on the whole situation, on him as a person. You might change. I don't know. But just give it a chance, people. Come on. Now, to get to the actual video, if you've seen it, you may know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to enlighten you real quick. I want you to notice his tone, his attitude, the way he's speaking, everything throughout the entire video. This Andrew Tate is not the same Andrew Tate we are used to seeing. He was a different tone, different attitude, different way of speaking, different everything, right? In my personal opinion, I feel that this is the real Andrew Tate. The one that we see on social media is a character. If you watch my last video, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's a character that he uses to make money and to build his platform. It's a very, how would I say it, intriguing character that strikes attention, and he uses it to build his platform. Excuse me. This character, or this version of Andrew Tate that we saw in this video, I think is the real Andrew Tate. I think this is how he is on a normal basis, how he is outside on the street, how he is talking to people. I think this is the real Andrew Tate. The one that we're used to seeing, that's social media Andrew Tate. This is real world Andrew Tate, but that's just my opinion. But now, to get back to the actual video and what he says, Tate basically starts out the video with a childhood story about how he was bullied, and basically just giving a somewhat of a method to his madness, if that makes sense. He talks about how he was getting bullied and how he went to his father and asked him for advice, and his father told him, no one is going to help you in life. You need to help yourself, right? And he took that advice, realized his teachers weren't going to help him. His bus driver was going to help him. No one was going to help him with the bullying situation. So he took care of it himself, right? Now, this is a simple, but I believe strong message. We've all probably heard it in our lives maybe once or twice, or maybe you haven't heard it, but it's going to go on with you for the rest of your life, right? It's a good piece of advice to take in. No matter what you do in life, no matter what you want to do in life, nobody's going to help you. And if you look for somebody to help you, you won't make it in whatever you want to do. You need to take it upon yourself to better yourself and get better, right? That's basically how he starts it off. That's his method to his madness, or how I think it is. But he also says that he never really addressed the bad stories about him, right? He never addressed them, and the reason that he never addressed them is because he felt that at the level of fame that he's at right now, this is a normal thing. Once you get to this level of fame, people are going to say bad things about you. I agree. That is 100% true. No matter how famous you get, people will always have haters. You will always have a hater or multiple haters. You will have people who who blatantly just don't like you. No matter how famous you get, no matter who you are, even the most liked people in the world all have haters. There's no one on this planet or anyone famous on this planet who has 100% I like him rate or I like her rate. That's just not how it works. That's just how it is. But this brings me to an idea that he also talked about in the video about how people are using his name for one of two reasons, right? They're either using his name for clout, or they're using his name to say bad things about him, right? They're posting videos and making him seem like a horrible person. Now, me making this video right now is basically proving his first statement correct, right? But he never said it was a bad thing, because it isn't. I'm using his name to build my own platform, as most people are doing, right? And it's not a bad thing, but it is what it is. He's a trending topic. I'm going to talk about him. But the second thing, right, about people posting bad things to make him look like a bad person. I think personally that they do this for one of two reasons. One being that they just blatantly don't like him. And that is perfectly okay. If you don't like someone, say your opinion, say bad things about them. It doesn't matter. You don't like that person. That's you. Post whatever you want. Do whatever you want. It's okay. That's a perfectly understandable reasoning. Now, the other reasoning I believe is that it's not just because they don't like Andrew Tate, but it's because they're afraid that they're going to be canceled if they don't post bad things about him. If you watch my last video again, you understand what I mean by this, but if you didn't, I will give you a little brief summary on basically like what I mean by that. So basically, these people don't necessarily disagree with Andrew Tate, or maybe they do, but the real motive is just to not get canceled, right? So they aren't speaking up for empowerment and to make and to say Andrew Tate's a bad person. They're not speaking up for that reasoning. They're speaking up because they want to be on the right side of the spectrum to not get canceled. They know that if they're on the side that watches Andrew Tate but just talks bad about him and says he's a bad person and disagrees with everything that he says, they are more likely to not get canceled than being on the side that listens to Andrew Tate, likes everything that he says, and likes his content. They know that being on this side is better for them to not get canceled, and being on that side is not so good for them if they don't want to get canceled. It's just a fear of not being canceled. But now back to what he was saying about like being about there being like false clips about him, 6 second clips that make him look bad on like TikTok and social media. He claims they're not true in the sense that he's a misogynist, right? And honestly, I kind of agree. I don't think Andrew Tate is misogynistic, right? Now, you might hate me for saying this, right? You might hate me, but just hear me out, right? I don't think he's a misogynist, right? But I do agree that sometimes he words things very, very badly. And those things can be twisted and turned to make him look like he's misogynistic, right? Now, him being a overall misogynist, I don't believe is the case. I truly don't. But I also think he has an old way of viewing relationships. Now, for example, I don't think he thinks that women shouldn't work because they're a woman and it's wrong. A woman shouldn't work because she's a woman. Women don't work. They need to stay in the kitchen, cook and clean. I don't think that's how he views it, right? Instead, I think he believes women shouldn't work because they're precious and him as a man should take on all the burden of work, money, and anything that's a problem in this world. He should take on the burden and basically make her life as easy as it possibly can because she is such a precious thing, right? That's how I take from what he says about women. He doesn't it's not it's like I said, it's the way he's wording things. He's wording them so badly to where it looks like he's saying women shouldn't work because they're a woman and that's wrong and they should stay in the kitchen and cook and clean. No. If he words it better, I think you'll understand that he thinks women don't need to work and that as a man you should want to, as if me being a man and any other man, you should want to make sure your woman doesn't have to work a day in her life and that she can live life to the fullest just by being with you. That's how I think he views like women, men, relationships, stuff like that. That's how I take from it. Now, like I said, very bad wording, very extremely bad word. I'm not even gonna say just very bad, extremely bad wording, but I think that's how he means it. And proof for that, later in this video, he actually admits that the way he words things are wrong and that he has to improve on that because by the way he's wording these things, he's looked at as a bad misogynistic man. He admitted it. He took full responsibility and said that he needs to word his things better because if he doesn't word them better, they are going to be twisted and make him look like a bad man. And yeah, I just explained that to you basically. But then later on, also in the video, he talks about like the extreme allegations made on him. Like, you know what I'm talking about, like the viral video that went out with the girl and the human trafficking raid that he had at his house in Romania. And he takes his time and he debunks both these allegations, right? Now, I, in fact, didn't truly believe what he was saying 100%. So I looked into it myself, right? I didn't want to just trust Andrew Tate's word and then come to you guys with false information. So I did my own little research on it, and he was in fact correct. They have nothing against him in both the allegations. He was completely right, completely true. No evidence or anything proving to what the social media headlines were saying about him being a human trafficker and him being a woman beater. It wasn't true. Now, with the video, there is actual proof of the woman that was in the video. She actually explained in multiple videos, not just one. In multiple videos, she actually explains that the video was completely taken out of context, right? This is I gotta laugh at this one because people, we were watching a sex tape. We all thought that this was a woman and she was getting beat. We were watching a sex tape. We weren't defending a woman that was getting beat. We were just kink shaming Andrew Tate. So I find this extremely hilarious that a video can be taken so much out of proportion that we are now looked at as kink shaming. Because I will not lie, when I first saw that video, I did kind of think it was a sex thing, but then after a while in the video, it kind of got bad, or I thought it was bad, and I was like, oh, wait, this might not be a sex thing. It was a sex thing. She admitted that she liked it, that she loved it. That was her. That's what she wanted. She wanted everything that he was doing in that video to happen to her. Full on admitted. We kink shamed Andrew Tate. We didn't defend a woman getting beat. We kink shamed a man. But beyond that, now moving on to the house raid, right? He explained this in the video, and after doing a little bit of research, it's true. The man was swatted. Now, if you don't know what swatting is, it's basically when someone calls the police, and most of the time it's a famous person. They call the police on a famous person, and I don't know the exact process, but it ends up being where a SWAT team comes into the house of the person being accused of whatever they were accused of on the phone. And yeah, that's basically what happens. They get swatted, which means the police come into your house. They look all over the place. This has happened to many, and I mean many, many different creators and many different famous people in general. It happened to Aiden Ross on live stream, by the way, mind you. It happened live. This is just something that happens. We took that into a different proportion when we put the headline, Andrew Tate's a human trafficker, right? But there's actually no evidence proving that it had anything to do with human trafficking, and it was just made to the extreme. No evidence. We were wrong. And I'm not saying this, mind you, I'm not saying this and telling you need to like him because these two things were wrong. I believe that you can have your opinion on anyone that you want. I don't care. But I'm saying this to say, be careful what you see on the internet. Don't believe everything that you see, because obviously, even with the worst of people, even though I don't think Andrew Tate's the worst of guys, but some people do, even with the worst of people, it's not always true. You need to dig deeper and understand that what you see right here is not always what it is. It's not always what it is. What you see is not always what it comes out to be. Now, I'm not going to apologize for thinking certain things because, you know, with the way social media is, you see these things over and over again and you start to believe it after a while. So I slowly was believing some of these things, like I told you with the video, but us as people looking at social media, we got to understand, don't view it as what it is. Do your research like I just did, and we'll prove that we were wrong, or the people who posted these things were wrong, right? Now, another thing, right? To all the people who know of Andrew Tate, you need to understand what his real motive is. Like, what he does, what's the real reason Andrew Tate posts videos on a daily basis, right? It's not to make women look bad. It's to build up men and make them feel strong and better about themselves. That is the main motive of Andrew Tate. That is what his goal is. His goal is to make men feel better about themselves. He feels as though men are underappreciated in this world, and that they need someone to tell them that they are strong, they're men, they can do anything that they want to do, and that's basically his whole motive to posting videos and being the creator that he is, right? Now, like, I've also said he uses this character he created to bring this out on social media, but in a different way because he uses it to gain popularity. He is spreading the same message, but with the character, it's also used to gain popularity and become wider, right? Become a wider, broader message to more and more people and just become a bigger person in general. Now, he says that in the video, right? In the video, he actually says that he's gotten many emails and messages talking about how he saved people and that his words help people with men specifically. Let's put that out there. Men specifically with the depression and feeling better about themselves and becoming better men and feeling strong, right? And all that stuff, right? I actually believe this. I do. I do. It may not be to the extent of what he said, millions of people or thousands, however, whatever number he said. It may not be that many, but I do believe that there are people, men specifically out there, who tell him and send him emails and messages saying how he actually helped them. Because some men need a guy like Andrew Tate to tell them that they're worth something and that they can better themselves. There's just some people out there who need to hear that. Not everyone is such a strong-minded person. That's just it's not the real world. Men have the highest suicide rate. Like there are certain men out there who need to be told certain things. They need to be told that they're strong and they can do anything. There are just certain men out there that need to hear it. Me personally, I don't think I need to hear that from another man, but that's just me. There are guys out there who need this, not just want it. They need this to help them feel better and become less depressed. Like that's just really honestly what it is. And you got to understand, Andrew Tate lives a lifestyle that every man on the planet would love to live. The man owns a Bugatti. He owns many homes in Romania and the United States. He's rich. He has money. He was a kickboxer champion. He's done so many things in his life that men want to do and that they haven't done yet. So there are plenty of people who look up to him just for that reason alone. But to add encouraging words on top of that and wisdom on how to be a better guy and how to make yourself feel better and strive to make more money and to be just like how Andrew Tate is, you got to understand that attracts men, right? That's where his popularity starts to come from. And on top of that, like I said, with the character, it's very strong to the point. If you don't do this, you're not a real man and da da da. He has an attitude, a fake attitude, I believe, and a lifestyle that men just look up to and that they want to see, right? Like I said, I don't personally look up to that and really care about all that. But some people do, some men do, and that's just what life is like, right? But I think that alone with these guys that look up to him and make feel better about themselves and feel like they can do more in life, I think that alone should be proof that he shouldn't be banned on social media and that he should still have a voice out there on all social media platforms, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just not fair. Because what happens to those guys who were looking up to him and listen to him every day to make themselves feel better for the day or something like that? Now they don't have that guy anymore. Now they got to look for another one. And I'm sure there are more other ones, and people say you should go to other ones, but they didn't want other ones. Andrew Tate was the one that made them feel better. So what happens to these guys? What happens to them? It's not fair that we're taking that away from them because we have a dislike for Andrew Tate. It's not fair, right? But then on top of that, we got women like Sienna May, right? Who literally actually committed a crime, right? And she still has her platform. And there's more people like her. I can't think about them off the top of my head, but there are more women like them and more people in general who done bad things, actually proven bad things, and they still have their platform. Where he's not committed a crime. Andrew Tate hasn't committed a crime or done anything of that sort, but he loses his platform because people just don't like him and like what he says. I don't think that's fair. See, Anime has her profile. She still has a TikTok account with millions of people still viewing it and liking her videos and commenting. Why does she have a platform but Andrew Tate loses his? I don't understand where do we draw the line, people? Where do we draw the line? Because in my opinion, I feel like she shouldn't have a platform over Andrew Tate, especially over what she did that was proven to have happened. Many witnesses, many videos. It's proven. He has things that have been debunked, and the most that people can say about him is that they don't like what he says, which is understandable, but that's not good enough of a reason to ban him. She had a perfectly big enough reason, perfectly big enough reason to ban her on all social media, but nobody did that. But he gets banned on all social media because he's a hazard. He's dangerous. That's dangerous over rape. Okay, I don't see where we have to draw the line somewhere, right? But in general, right, we need to see a problem with this. We need to see a problem with picking and choosing who we cancel and who we ban, because there's CNMA is not the only case, right? And Andrew Tate's not the only case of a man who gets banned off of words and saying things that other people don't like, right? Now, I understand that the world's unfair towards men, but that's not a topic anybody really wants to talk about. It's sad. It's truly sad, but the world is truly unfair to men, and no one really wants to talk about it. Like I said before, a man can't have an opinion, whether it's a good one, a bad one, or even a horrible one. A man is not entitled to having his own opinion. If it's good, he'll live on for a little bit. But if it's anything bad or anything that a lot of people don't agree with, God forbid he post that video, because he will end up getting banned or canceled, or people just won't like him. And it's truly unfair that a man can't just speak his mind on social media and stuff like that. But Andrew Tate is just another example. Like, he's just another example of a man who spoke his mind and got banned for it. I won't be surprised if Sneeko is next, or I mean, you guys tried to ban the Fresh and Fit podcast guys. These guys all are on the verge of getting banned, but I don't feel that they should. You know, we got people like Drew Afalo. I think I keep saying her name wrong, but she has her platform and gets no ridicule for bashing on men, but these guys get ridiculed all the time. I just feel like it's not fair, you know? Like I'm saying, I said in my last video, I don't mind that she has her platform. I follow her and everything. I love her platform. I think it's funny sometimes. Like, she makes good jokes. And honestly, she makes jokes for the right reasons. You know, she goes at men for the right reasons. But that's a whole different topic. We're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about specifically this, right? Hey guys, sorry about that. But back to what I was saying. Overall, this was Andrew Tate's final message, right? Wrong. This is not the last time we are going to hear from Andrew Tate. And if you think this is the last time we're going to hear from him, you have a very rude awakening. You are highly mistaken, because that man is not going to let a simple ban take him down. He will continue, and he will be back. He may be back worse than he was before, but he is going to come back the exact same way he left. He is not going to be acting like how he was in the final message video. Like I said, how he was acting. He's not going to be that Andrew Tate. He's going back to his social media Andrew Tate, and he's going to probably be worse, or maybe just be the same. But he's going back to it. I already seen that he posted a podcast video with his brother. Now, I didn't watch it yet. I'm going to watch it. Maybe I'll make a video on that. But I am positive, I am highly positive that he is the same Andrew Tate in that video. Nothing's going to be changed. Promise you. And if you thought differently, I am sorry. I truly am. But getting that out the way, let's clarify something before we end this video, right? I am not here defending Andrew Tate's words. I am not here to force you to like Andrew Tate, right? Instead, what I am here for is to educate you on what I researched and to tell you what he said in the final message video. I'm basically recapping and giving my own opinion and point of view and my own research, telling you what's right and what's wrong. Well, not wrong, but what's true and what's not true, right? I could have easily mentioned the many charities that he said he donated to for women and all this whatnot to try and defend him. But honestly, in my opinion, I don't feel donations are a proof of, like, it depends on the situation. But in this situation, I don't think him donating to woman specific charities is proof that he's not a misogynist. I just don't feel like that. Anyone who has money can donate. It makes you look better if you do, but it doesn't make it true. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he's a misogynist. We went through this already, but I'm not here to defend him, right? With that being said, do not try and cancel me now. That's what I'm getting at. Don't try to cancel me now because I spoke my mind and I said a few things that you may not agree with, right? Don't try and do that. Grow up. Come on. Get past the headlines and the 6-second TikToks and just listen to someone else's point of view for once. Don't just hate on someone just immediately because they like a certain person or something like that. Grow up. Let's talk like adults. If you have a problem, put it in the comment section. I don't care, but I'll read them. I read all my last comments. It is what it is. I'll read them. I'll see what you think about things, but don't try and cancel me and try to make me out to be this bad person that I'm not, because that's not what I'm doing here. Okay, that's just to say that, But you don't gotta agree with me. You really don't. You don't gotta agree with me in what I say. But if you do agree with me, and if you think I said some true things and you like what I said and you agree with some of the things that I said, then do me a favor. Make sure you like. You know what? Even if you don't like, I said this in my last video too. Even if you didn't like what I said, don't like, but comment, comment, share, subscribe. Please subscribe. And thank you for listening. If you made it this far, whether you like the video or not, thank you for listening. And I'll see you guys on the next one, all right? I'll see you next time. Thank you again. Peace.